Okay, got double anomalous with an idol. Okay. Well, that's not great. I think I'm going to start with my golden chirper. He's going to be really bad versus the idol, but I suspect he'll start with anomalous. So I can Dazzling Dance, which I'll need to so that I can actually do some decent damage versus the anomalous. I might have been better off, honestly, with the power, but it's okay. Go ahead and flurry. And he's not running the weather, so I can maybe just get away with going for my sunlight. I think I'm going to hold off, though, just for a second and just go for damage. He might have the weather on this pet. It's hard to say. So I'm going to keep attacking, and then if he uses toxic fumes, I can change the weather on him right away. If he stays in, he's dead. I still have Dazzling Dance for 5 more turns. I think I should go for Sunlight right away. That was a nice crit. Sunlight nurses racial, so now... Let's see, does it double kill him with Flurry? Don't think so. I think I need a crit or a triple, and I did get the crit, so that's pretty good. He's done so much damage with AoE, though. And he's going to change my weather, which is a real bummer, because that means I don't get the stun for Surge of Darkness. So I have a couple choices here. I could save my... I could save my Golden Chirper for later to maybe change the weather on him. That might be good. Um, Deadly Dreaming is Haunt, which I cannot use on my undead turn, sadly. So we're just going to use... And he used Deflection anyways. So I think what I have to do here is bring in the Scourge of the Aspects. Sandstorm does kill me, so I have to just go for the... Oh wait, he hasn't used Sandstorm yet, duh. Yeah, so we have a stun, guaranteed, because he has no deflection, and the weather is sunlight. That procs are racial, so we can use Call Darkness here. And we win as long as we land this attack. Forgot that I still had sunlight out, so I actually got the guaranteed stun there. Kind of a cool ability here. Surge of Darkness. It's like Surge of Light, except the 100% stun chance isn't darkness, it's sunlight. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty fun combo. The Golden Chirper, of course, can buff his speed and then give him the weather so that he can get the guaranteed stun with Surge of Darkness. It's definitely a bit of a meme team. I don't think I should have beat that guy with this team, but yeah, he kind of misplayed. He should have just used Sandstorm to kill my undead. So, I think, isn't that what happened? Regardless, he probably should not have saved his Anubis Hath idol for the end. So, let me see. Do I have another team with the Scourge? I think I do. Okay, so this one I'm thinking you can use Dazzling Dance and Moon Dance, and they're actually separate buffs, so I can actually outspeed like fast pets with Scourge of the Aspects. I'm not quite sure how fast it'll be, but I think it'll be, well, it's definitely a bit of a meme team. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll be able to beat a double anomalous team with this team, but depending on what we queue into, could have some fun. It's going to require a lot of setup to get my speed buff to the point where I am like actually legitimately fast with the Scourge of the Aspects. Okay, so same team. I might be the only guy queuing, so I might just have to like hard counter him, which is fine. We got a win versus him. I guess if he plays badly, we could maybe win again, but I don't think that is likely to happen again. He's probably not going to fall for the same trick as before. I'm going to start with my Golden Chirper, since he likes to start with Anomalous. We've got a Dazzling Dance so that we can do decent damage to him. My little Dazty is so low HP. He's probably actually just going to die to pure AoE. So we're going to go for flurries here. I'm glad that he's staying in. I would rather him go for single target attacks than AoE. If he stays in here, he's actually just dead, I think. Oh, no, I needed the triple, but we got it, so that's fortunate. You don't really need the double speed versus this guy because we're already faster than Anomalous. So, Claw could kill him. If it doesn't, I think I just lose, but I think that's my only choice, is to just hope that I high roll a Claw here. If I just had Breath. Yeah, I think my only chance to beat him is hope I get a high roll here. And we barely killed him. Lucky, lucky. So we have a Dragon Racial and Sunlight is the weather, but I'm just so sure he's going to use Deflection. If I was him, I would 1000% use Deflection. So I'm going to predict that, go for Claw. Oh, and he used Sandstorm. We barely survived, but that's not great. Do I go for the Surge of Darkness or Call Darkness? I think I'm going to go for the Call Darkness. Okay, so he deflectioned it. So now we can go for Surge of Darkness. We might land a stun. And if we do, nice. That was only a 25% chance. I think we can win now because, oh yeah, we got a Dragon Racial. We killed him. So that was a lucky win. A little bit stressful fighting an idol there with deflection available. And he did dodge our Call Darkness, but we got the win, so. I'm guessing that's the only guy queuing, and I don't really want to fight him anymore without having Sandstorm, so I'm going to pick a team to counter him. I'm just going to run Karaji Guardling team. It's going to do well versus double. How is this team looking? I think I want double Sandstorm. Yeah, this team should do okay. It's not that great though. I should not run the Shore Butterfly versus double Anomalous. I should run a team with yeah. Yeah, that team should shut him down. I mean, it's possible he won't queue again, but those were pretty close games. Yeah, I suspected I would just get him again, so. we'll just counter him real hard, and then I'll probably queue again later because I'm getting tired of fighting this team. Oh, yeah, good choice. Well played. So he just wants to play whenever he thinks he's going to stomp on a noob. And then as soon as you fight with a counter team, he just runs away, so yeah, I'll just hmm. I mean, I could try to play a team that he thinks is gonna beat to bait him into playing, but I mean, it's possible he'll try to counter my Sandstorm team, so he might play a Darkness team now. I guess. Well, let me just queue again. Let's see what he does. I'm kind of curious to see if he queues the same team or if he now tries to counter my Sandstorm team. If he plays Darkness, he'll probably win, which is okay. I'd rather fight, well, rather fight a fun team, but I'd rather fight Darkness than double Anomalous and Anubis Idol, I think. He is not queuing up immediately, so I suspect he is picking a counter team. I don't really have a lot of great anti-darkness teams. I need to make more of those. I have some teams that are like viable versus darkness, but this isn't like specifically designed to counter darkness. It's just like the Kunchong is a beast, so he takes weak damage from darkness. A Tumble Sproutling is a decent pet versus most darkness pets, but he's slow. So even though he can heal up for a lot, what I run into a lot is like Anomalous with a darkness pet. And then Anomalous is really good versus the Autumnal Sproutling because if I spend all my time healing, then my backline is dying, and then if I'm not healing, then my Autumnal Sproutling is one of the backline pets that's dying. And he's only 260 speed, so if I queue into Twilight, he still gets stunned and just kind of dies. The Vengeful Porcupet's one of my favorite pets versus Darkness users, but there's an Anubis Idol out and about, so he's not a great option for me right now. It's possible he just gave up. He realized I'm just going to counter him, but he could just be taking his time thinking about how to counter this team. I mean, this team is not easy to counter, but there are definitely teams that will just consistently win versus it. Generally speaking, if I want to counter darkness pets, then a pet like Anomalous, like AoE teams do well against darkness. Sandstorm generally beats AoE teams. And then darkness usually counters Sandstorm. But what I have a hard time beating is darkness AoE teams. Because my go-to strategy for fighting AoE is Sandstorm. And then if they have like a pet or two with darkness, then that shuts down my Gleamhoof Fawn really hard. I mean, triple Sandstorm would probably beat like an anomalous Bone Serpent AoE pet. But triple Sandstorm is so boring. Like I made, what was this team? I made this team right here. Shore Butterfly, Living Sandling, Karaji Guardling. Because I was spam queuing into Anomalous with a Bone Serpent and a Direhorn. And he doesn't always use the Bone Serpent. Sometimes he uses an MPD. Sometimes he was using a Death Adder Hatchling, which I think is the weakest of the three. Although that is annoying because Anomalous has toxic fumes. But yeah, I think Direhorn is the hardest to counter because there's so much RNG. Like he has the 50% chance to interrupt you, and then he also has the 85% priority move. And both of these attacks hit harder than a standard basic attack, but you can just alternate them because they're only 1 round cooldown. So even if you have like a flyer, he still does almost as much damage as if he wasn't doing weak attacks. As like a normal pet does with their basic attacks. Plus the Primal Cry does AoE, so combined with Anomalous, it's actually quite a bit of AoE damage, just the combination of Poison Protocol and Primal Cry spam. And so without Sandstorm, it's really hard to keep your backline pets alive. And then once he has the Bone Serpent, Sandstorm isn't all that great because, well, if you're running like a humanoid, then Bone Barrage is going to shred your HP. If you're running the Gleamhoof on, Darkness completely shuts you down. Huh. Okay, we got a random team, so I feel a little bit bad about playing this one. I'm actually just going to forfeit. I want to play something fun if I'm going to queue into that. And I'll come back to this team. I'll let him take the win there. Because that's not fair for me to play like a super try-hard team if I'm getting him. Let me play a fun team. Let me just pick something real quick. I'm not trying to counter him in particular. But I do want to have like a fighting chance maybe if I'm going against double Anomalous. So how do I think this team will do? I like this team a lot, so I think I'm just going to play it. And if I get that double Anomalous, that's too bad. I probably just kind of automatically lose. Hmm. Okay. I mean, Mr. Delver's okay. I like him a lot versus Anomalous because you can swap, and it goes first. He's faster, takes weak damage. I mean, he's not bad versus the Direhorn. I was thinking about how to try to counter that Direhorn Anomalous combo without Sandstorm. First of all, because Sandstorm is just oppressively OP, and also because he likes to run it with a Darkness pet like the Bone Serpent, which is fairly decent versus Sandstorm. Plus, the RNG aspect isn't very much fun. I don't like depending on winning whenever everybody just has a 10% mischance. I was thinking Mr. Delver would be okay, but he's actually not that great versus the Direhorn because every other turn he's going to be using the priority move, so I guess I could use Missile instead of Batter. But, I mean, Mr. Delver's 1262 HP, that is not a lot of health, and you need health versus AoE teams. Like my overall health pool is very below average for this team. So if I wanted to specifically queue into that guy, I think maybe... So strong versus beast for sure. Okay, so Dibbler has lots of strong versus beast damage. You can root him, that's good. The priority move doesn't work like Surge, so I think his Trihorn charge actually goes first if he's faster. But it's still nice to have the priority move just in case, like, I have to get the attack off before the interrupt or something. So the Q's not popping. Let me, first of all, make sure I'm not bugged. Yeah, no, I'm not bugged. Let me try making a team with Dibbler real quick. Of course, I'll go with the classic, my favorite combo. Snapdragon, he's just so good with mechanicals. As I said before, he covers versus elementals, he buffs their damage. This team would be fairly, this combo, I think I might do a Seeking a Third with these two just because I like them. They're going to be fairly weak versus flyers. I mean, I'm not too worried about magics because I have the mechanical here. Of course, I have weak damage versus magics. And anomalous is very prevalent, so maybe I should try to think about if I'm queuing into anomalous, what would I probably want? I mean, my go-to is, of course, the Guardling. Which is decent, because... So he's weak versus beasts, but Dibbler's strong versus beasts. Um... Oh wait, yeah, I want a drill charge anyways. So that could work. Is there anything else I could use that would be slightly... either slightly better versus anomalous, or at least as good? If I queue into that fun team, I don't really want to have a Karaji Guardling on my team. That's overkill. But I also want to give myself a fighting chance versus anomalous. Do I have any counter teams versus anomalous in particular? I do have two, and both of them are using the Karaji Guardling. He's just my go-to. Because he's faster than anomalous. He's I suspect I will get him again. Oh, okay, so here's one that I like. I like the Blazehound versus anomalous because he's faster. You can swap him out. If he swaps him, it'll bring in the highest health pet, which is rarely anomalous. I can use a trap. So this team is going to be seriously weak to critters. I don't know how worried I am about that. Okay, I'm going to save this team under tryout teams. Oh yeah, win rate is 0. Okay, and then we're just going to do Dibbler Seeking a Third. To remind myself to try out different thirds, because I like this combo a lot, I think. Let's try it out. And then I'm just going to go through later and try to figure out some good options for a third pet here. Specifically good options versus anomalous. Since I queue into him like 90% of my games, it feels like. Okay, so we got a fun team. So I'm glad I wasn't running my Karaji Guardling. The Blazehound is still a really solid tier 1 pet, but we'll go ahead and swap him out. It's free damage, why not? This is such a random pet. I have no idea what he's running. He's going to be a... These two pets are actually a big problem for Dibbler. So I'm going to want to save him for the Jungle Beak. Do I stay in or do I go for the Snapdragon? I'm going to go for the Snapdragon. If he brings in the Flyer, I think I will call Lightning and dip out. If he stays in on an Elemental, got a great matchup there. He might actually just stay in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and attack him a couple times. We do strong damage to him. If he goes for Entangling Roots, we can always dive. I'm assuming that's what he has, but he's holding it. Maybe he has Creeping Fungus, and he doesn't want to use it because it's weak damage. It's kind of a really random team here. Could be a newer pet battler. Even his breeds are weird. HS is kind of random for the Fell Flame. He might lift off. If he does, that's fine. Easy swap to Dibbler. I'm weak versus the Elemental, so I want to use him now. Plus I have Call Lightning buffing my damage. First things first, I want to root him, because I like this matchup a lot better than the other one. And now that he's rooted, we can whack him with some strong damage under Lightning Storm. Not sure quite how much damage Drill Charge does under Lightning Storm. Uh-oh. If he gets a crit, I might actually just die here. Hopefully not. Okay, no. He didn't get the triple, so that's good for us. And then we have the priority move, and he's still rooted, so he's dead. Could save Dibbler for later. I think the best move is just attack until he's dead. It's okay for him to take that Scorched Earth. He's not particularly useful versus elementals. Then I can... I could change his weather. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I could go for the Magma Trap, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to change his weather right away. Don't want to be burning. And then I highly suspect he will Conflagrate here, so I'm going to dive. Hopefully avoid it. Oh, he's too smart for me. It's going to be strong damage, though, so I think I'm just too far ahead for him to win. Oh, we got a crit, yeah. So he was going to Conflagrate me there, but even if I didn't crit him, I think I could have just killed him with one more attack from my Blazehound. Ding. What do we get? Probably Mind Control. Alright. I'm going to call it there. Try to queue later whenever there's some more variety in the meta. I'm basically just getting a random player or a try-hard anomalous team that I could counter, but he's just going to run away and that's boring, so... I'm going to try to come up with some more third pets for this combo, though, for later, because I like Dibbler a lot. He's great versus Dire Horns, and I think he's going to be a solid pair with the Snapdragon, since I can buff his damage. I didn't pay attention. How much damage did drill charge do? Does 495. I'm going to save that for later so that I don't have to do the math, because that'll come in handy to know, since I'll often be pairing these two together and I'll have the weather. Don't have to pull out a calculator. I'm going to slash reload so that it doesn't lose my note in Rematch. So I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you have any pets you want to see me try out, any teams, feel free to leave them in the comments. Till next time.